Back to the Cox Arena here in Oklahoma City. Now this meet is created in honor of gymnastics legend Nadia, who happens to be my wife. Obviously I know all about her, but maybe you don't. So here's more.
Nadia began her gymnastics career as an energetic 6-year-old in Romania. She quickly caught the eye of a young gymnastics coach, Bella Caroli. It was at the 1976 Olympic Games in Montreal where Nadia forged her place in gymnastics history. She scored the first perfect 10 in Olympic competition, on her way to winning 5 medals. She won 4 more medals in the 1980 Games in Moscow. With all of her experience, Nadia understands how important invitational meets can be to young competitors, and how her adopted state of Oklahoma can play a part in the future of gymnastics.
I remember I was training in the same arena in 1972 with some Olympic champions from former Soviet Union. And at that moment, you don't even feel like you actually need to go to the Olympics, because you are together with them on the floor, which is already feels like an Olympic field, because they are already an Olympic champions, and you competing with them or being in the same arena with them kind of made you an Olympian. I don't know, it didn't feel like you actually have to go to the Olympics and win a medal. Well, I'm very happy that I live here in Oklahoma for 19 years, and this competition actually to start here in Oklahoma. I think that people will go back after this meet, and they're gonna talk about the experience they had. The biggest Olympic champion came from Onești, Romania. Did you hear about Onești before? Why not Oklahoma? Oklahoma is a great place, and it's well known for gymnastics schools. And with this competition, people will know more about us, Oklahoma, and also about what we have here dedicated to gymnastics.
And all of that leads to this. I'm joined by gymnastics icon, my wife, Nadia. And boy, what a week we've had, Nadia. 600 athletes. We've had guests from 8 different countries, 50 international visitors, training in our gym, shopping in our stores, and enjoying Oklahoma. What has all this meant to you?
I could never imagine that 33 years after my success in Montreal, I will live here in Norman, Oklahoma, and have...
And be married to me.
Of course, but have a competition named after me. This is such a huge honor. I'm very pleased to welcome all the international guests, especially the 2 gymnasts from Romania, with the top Olympic champion, Sandra Izbașa.
We wish all the athletes good luck, and let's get right back to the competition now. Here's our first look at the Russian team. This is 13-year-old Kristina Kruglikova of Voronezh, Russia.
Great Arabian double front. Over-rotate a little, so she was forced to take that step on the landing.
You notice that sting mat that she landed on. That allows the athletes a little more protection for their ankles and heels on the landings. In world and Olympic competition, you're not allowed to use that, but in invitationals like this, it is allowed.
She had a great leaps connection, a switch leap to a tourjete half, which is a requirement in the code now. You have to have 3 dance elements counting towards your start value, which is a change in the new code since the Olympic Games.
That's an advantage for someone like her, who's not your prototype powerhouse gymnast. She's more elegant. Oh!
Seemed like she just didn't quite trust herself. It looked like she had it, but, you know, just got away from her.
Now, in many ways, she reminds me a little bit of a young Nastia when you were 12 or 13 years of age. Long lines, very elegant presentation. What did you do to gain the strength that she'll obviously need to gain as well as she matures?
Well, you definitely have to focus a lot on your technique when you're not as strong, and ran out of energy a little bit there, but, you know, a little bit conditioning and some strength work will definitely help her out in the future.
Well, she doesn't seem thrilled with that performance.
Let's take a look at her first pass one more time, the Arabian double front. As you can see, pretty good technique, just, you know, lacking a little bit of the strength on the landing there.
And her score is a 12.00 in the new international scoring system, which is what they call open-ended scoring. No longer is the perfect 10 the mark to shoot for in gymnastics. Now to the beam. This is 18-year-old Sandra Izbașa, winner of 2 medals, a gold and a bronze at the recent Olympic Games. Great to have her here in this competition today.
Yeah, it's very great to see her already up and competing. might not be at her quite Olympic top shape yet, but just great to see her already back in her teens again.
That's true. Typically after the Olympics, gymnasts take almost a year off, work on some new skills, and refine their techniques.
Little break on the full turn there. Just like the floor exercise, on the beam you can count 8 skills towards your start value, including the dismount, and 3 of those have to be a dance or a leap.
Now, is that an advantage for someone like you who's known for exquisite dance moves?
Definitely an advantage for me. You know, for some people it is a little bit harder when you try and get the more difficult dance elements, but you know, everybody's different in their strengths.
Now, typically the European gymnasts start gearing up their training for the European Championships and the World Championships later this year, so it's great to have her here. I think it's really out of respect for Nadia Comăneci that the Romanians sent their top gymnast and Olympic medalist Izbasha to this competition. Nice side summy.
You hear that bell ding, that means it's a minute 20 and you have 10 seconds to complete the routine so you won't get penalized for overtiming. Great double full dismount for Sandra. You see back handspring layout. This is also one of the things that is required, an acro combination, which this definitely fulfills that. And here's her dismount. She did a double twist here, and at the Olympic Games she did do a triple twist, but as we said before, she's not quite in her Olympic shape here.
And the score for Izbasha, 14.1. When we come back, we'll hear from my co-host, Nastia Lukin. We visited her at her gym in Texas, where she reflected on her remarkable Olympic success.